Peace be with you. Dear friends, we celebrate today, Tuesday, in the 11th week of Ordinary Time. Gospel for our reflection taken from Matthew chapter 5, verses 43 to 48. Here we deal with our enemies. Jesus asks us to love our enemies and pray for them. The word enemy means an unfriendly opponent. An enemy can be somebody who hates us and seeks to harm us or causes trouble. An enemy can be someone who has wronged us. Or an enemy can be just somebody on the opposing side. An unfriendly in the sense that they are hostile to the values or beliefs that are important to us. There are lots of areas where we can find enemies. And if we can't find them, we can always make enemies. It's easy. All we need are some strong differences. The meaning of enemy that most quickly comes to our mind are enemy nations, those who oppose our values or those who infringe on our interests. Our latest enemy is terrorism, which threatens our safety. But we can also find enemies here at home. There are political enemies, religious enemies, those who do not value what we value or believe what we believe. Sometimes we identify individual enemies just by their nationality. Maybe you have an enemy in your business, an evil competitor. Perhaps you have a rival for another's affections. And perhaps the word seems too strong, but we have all discovered personal enemies, people who have wronged us or hurt us. People that hate us, and the natural thing to do is to hate them back. Hate them for what they do, or what they believe, or what they value, or where they came from, or what they threaten to take away from us. Who is not worthy of our love? By human standards, there are some people who are just not worthy of our love. They don't deserve it, and so they don't get it. It's either a love or hate relationship. I love him not. That's the way it works. But Jesus has a different approach. Instead of a love or hate relationship, he demands. And what does he demand? A love for hate relationship. That's why in verse 44, Jesus tells us, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Whoever he is, the correct way to respond to your opponent is not to hate him, but to love him. That is not natural. It's supernatural. It's a response that is so foreign to us that the only way we are going to follow this instruction is by asking for God to change us. And that is why prayer can help us to change our attitude towards our enemies. It's interesting, isn't it, that Jesus tells us to pray for our enemies, even for those who persecute us. It's prayer that often changes our hearts and moves us from the natural response to the supernatural response. I don't have what it takes to love my enemies, but God does. Who do you love who is not worthy? God's standard is different from human standards. Instead of asking, who is not worthy of your love, God asks, who do you love who is not worthy? An enemy does not deserve your love, but God says to love him anyway. It's a love for hate relationship. Just what does it mean to love your enemy? These days, love often gets defined as just an emotion, a feeling. But love in the Bible goes well beyond how you feel about something. It is a decision, sometimes a decision to do something opposite to what you feel like doing. I would like you to listen to the words of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 48. which we often hear in the context of loving people who we want to love. Today, I would like you to hear these words and think about how they apply to your enemies. So pick one or two of your enemies: a political opponent, a competitor, someone whose values are antithetical to yours, or someone who is doing you wrong. Think about that person and listen to how Jesus would have you to treat them. As St. Paul says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Well, let's pause right here because I would like this to sink in. You know, it doesn't just have to be about our Christian values. What about other things that are important to us? Is this the way we treat someone who burns our flag, or someone who attacks our country, or someone who goes against our values? That's why St. Paul continues, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. Why should we love our enemies? If we are going to pursue something so contrary to our nature and our desires, we ought to have a good reason for doing so. Jesus tells us in verse 45 in today's gospel why we need to love our enemies. Jesus says that you may be sons and daughters of your Father in heaven. That's only one reason to love your enemies. You should do it because it's just what our dad would do. That's just the way God treats them. When we love our enemies, we demonstrate that we are God's children. We prove our relationship with Him, and Jesus gives us two more examples. Because God causes His sun to rise on the evil and the good. It doesn't matter whether they are good men or evil men. God gives them His sunshine, even if they don't acknowledge it, because to Him they are dear. He gives them light. He gives them warmth. He gives them their food. He sends rain on righteous and the unrighteous. Rain is not a negative event. It's another positive gift. God waters the whole earth. He doesn't just supply food for the righteous, but also for the unrighteous. God gives without distinction. He loves people indiscriminately. You don't have to earn God's love. God is giving us freely because He is love Himself. Therefore, this is an invitation to all of us, dear friends, today to love our enemies, to pray for those who persecute us. And this is what must sink into our hearts. It is going to be difficult, but with the God's grace, certainly everything will help us to grow deeper into His love and then become His true disciples and followers. God bless you.